22 years that I've been prosecuting, I've tried over 5,000 cases, big and small. In preparing for today's remarks, I tried to add up the murder cases I've tried. I've tried more murder cases before a jury than many attorneys have tried jury cases. But I've tried about a dozen murder cases. Starting in 2002, there was a terrible run. I tried 4 murder cases over 5 years. Erin George. She shot her husband in the head in the front lawn of their house to try to collect the insurance money that she had gotten when she forged his signature on an insurance policy. Cynthia Welch. She was a drug user, and while she was in the van using drugs, her baby, her infant, starved to death. Charles Reed. He shot his drug dealer with a sawed-off shotgun. And Alfonso Bennett, who snuffed out the life of a wonderful 19-year-old college boy during a home invasion robbery. Those 4 cases could not have been any different from one another, but there's 3 things that they had in common. They were all prosecuted by me, they were all tried before a Stafford County jury, and they all received a life sentence. As most of you know, I have a passion for prosecution, and it's expressed itself in the way that I prosecute child abuse cases. I've tried over 300 child abuse cases. I've had people comment to me, well, it seems that Stafford has a lot of child abuse cases, child sexual abuse cases. Let me tell you, it is all over. It is in every city, it is in every county, it is everywhere across the country. And the only decision to be made from a law enforcement standpoint or a prosecution standpoint is whether you're going to pursue those cases, whether you're going to prosecute them vigorously, and whether you're going to do everything in your power to make sure that children that are abused and exploited are protected, and that the people that do that are brought to justice. I've dedicated my life to holding those people accountable, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there are children that have not been exploited, there are children that have not been abused because of the work that our sheriff has done and I have done to make sure that these offenders are held accountable. As we all know, anybody that's going to exploit and abuse a child, they don't just pick one. They do it time and time again. And the day that we can get them arrested and the day that we can put them in prison is the day that we stop that abuse happening to other children. And I'm proud of the service to the citizens of Stafford County for the part that I've played in that. I have tried over 1,000 domestic violence cases. What an astounding number. It's a horrible problem, not just here, it's everywhere. And they're the most challenging cases that any prosecutor can have. Because unlike any other crime, in a domestic violence case, the victim of the crime is actually against the prosecutor in so many instances. The victim of the crime is on the other side. By the time you get to court, they've called the police, they want the abuse to stop that night, but by the time you get to court, in so many instances, they're against you, they're not on your side. And it's a challenge to prosecute those cases successfully. And let me tell you what happens when you don't prosecute them successfully. That cycle of abuse continues. But if we as prosecutors can insert ourselves in that cycle, if we can do everything in our power to bring those people to justice, to hold them accountable, to offer services, to make sure that they know that they're not only going to get arrested, but they're going to get prosecuted, then we interrupt that cycle of abuse. And I'm proud of the role that I've played in doing that over the time.